Alright, what's up guys, it's KOSDFF here, and today I want to talk to you guys about a subject that's been roaring all over social media lately, and that is the subject of sponsorships and their relationships with YouTubers or promoters of any kind. And if you haven't made the connection, I am kind of referring to the CSGO Lotto situation in which there was an ownership situation, but it did call into question the whole thing about disclosure of whether you're being sponsored to make a video, paid to make a video, or whether you own the site you're making the video for. And I feel like amongst this debate, there is a rather large uninformed population of people that don't really know about or just don't actually understand the inner workings of YouTube sponsorships. Now I'm saying that to kind of narrow the subject matter. Obviously there's sponsorships for all different kinds of social media like Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter, and a lot of the times these YouTube sponsorships will actually entail posts on those social media sites as well. But I do feel like the majority of the YouTube viewing community is largely uninformed in how these sponsorships work, the YouTube rules regarding disclosure, because I feel like this whole thing came about and everyone went and looked or got told by a YouTuber what they were, and also about the compensation that YouTubers receive and how it's structured and things like that. In summary, basically, I'm telling you guys all this, one, so that it might just, relieve some confusion about everything and just maybe shed some light on some subjects that you didn't know or a lot of people aren't talking about. Because obviously the recent controversy is all focused on ownership of a site because that's, what the situation is. And two, I want to clear this up for us, like me and you, our relationship, because I don't want you guys thinking that TK or myself or anyone's just promoting a product that, one, we don't believe in, because we actually do feel like that. All the companies that we're sponsored by, sell products that we used well before we were sponsored by them. Actually, it's how we picked our sponsors. We went after companies that made products that we use. And in the beginning, in large part, it was just because we wanted them for free, because we some randoms, by the way. Team Kaliber started off with a bunch of people like under 50K. I think Chaos X Silencer was the only one with the channel. Back in the day, we weren't getting sponsorship checks. We were getting product. But obviously, that's not the case now. But I did want to tell you guys about this stuff because it is common knowledge. And I do feel like I am speaking on the behalf of a lot of other YouTubers too, that kind of just assumed, wrongfully so it proves, that you guys kind of understood what went on there. And I'm guilty of this too. I just assumed that you guys would know that if I put a GFUEL code in a video and I generally promote GFUEL, that I was being paid or being compensated for doing that, because no one in this world works for free. And if you do, you're either trying to make your career for yourself and you're just starting out, or you're an idiot. I even tweeted out from my Twitter this morning that, because of all this controversy, I wanted to disclose that we are in fact sponsored by all our sponsors. And, it was a really smart ass tweet. But it really did give me the idea for this video, because I was thinking, as funny as that was, everybody might not have understood that. People might not understand the difference between an affiliate and a sponsoree and a partner. And depending on what company you're working for, they could all mean the same thing, actually. I'm going to kind of start talking about this subject at a beginning of a timeline of getting sponsored, developing a relationship with a sponsor, how most of these contracts works, and also how they work over time. Don't worry, I will get to the point of talking about, large YouTubers and their contracts with sponsors and how most of those work. Now, I am going to be talking in general. I obviously can't disclose the inner workings of our contracts, but I can tell you guys some brief points that I really do feel like most people don't understand or don't know the difference between. And one, as a YouTuber, you do develop a relationship with these companies, so don't think that, everything that gets tweeted all the time is being paid for. A lot of the times these companies sponsor you from the very beginning when you're a very small channel, and obviously the benefit to them is nowhere near the benefit to you. And you're just some random, and some company kind of believes in your market or believes that you're gonna grow and kind of gives you a code, and a lot of the times you're not paid for these. And what do I mean by they give you a code? Basically, you sell a certain amount of product, you ask your viewers to use your code, and they receive like a 10% discount, and then you get a commission for this sale. Most of the time it's a percentage of the total sale, so if you spent like $100, we'll get like maybe 5 or 10. There are some companies that do a subscription method of sales, and obviously that price is the same every single month, or there might be a deal for the more items they sell, maybe their commission goes up, so if they sold 100 versus 1,000, maybe they get more if they sell 1,000. But we are talking about small YouTubers, so the chances of that are pretty low. And as you grow as a YouTuber, you go attend events, and often we hang out with the sponsors, so you end up buddies with a lot of these guys. Most of the time we even meet the people that run their social media, so we know who we're talking to. Like when I tweet at GFUEL or Control Freak, I know who's actually answering me on their Twitter. You go out to have drinks, you go out to dinner. Now, I actually used to work for SCUF Gaming, so I know all those guys, because I used to live there and work in their office and stuff like that, and they're all the homies. But you definitely develop a relationship with their representatives that come out to all these events, and you hang out, and they're all really cool people, all really excited to be doing what they're doing. And the only reason why I'm telling you about that is to re-bring up a point that I made earlier, is that you do develop a friendship. So not everything that's being said by a sponsoree is being paid for, or the words being provided to them to say, or the graphics being provided them to make and use and promote. You do just kind of develop a friendship. And why am I telling you all this? Is so you can spot the difference between a post that's being paid for and one that's not. not, and we'll get to that shortly. Now, hopefully your channel grows and grows and grows, and eventually you can move up from what I like to call an affiliate, somebody that has a code that's just being paid a commission, to a sponsored influencer, which is someone that's being paid a base amount every single month on top of the commissions for their sales. Now, this can be absolutely anything. This can be $100 or $10,000 or $20,000. You never know. That entirely depends on the size of the YouTuber, to be honest. Now, that latter category encompasses almost all large YouTubers that you guys watch. And I want to say this and almost stress this point: nobody works for free. So if any YouTuber or any social media person is promoting it and providing a code, or promoting it and providing a link, or putting it in the first 30 seconds of their video on its own, these people are being paid to promote. Now, how can you tell the difference between that and someone that just tweets out saying they like something like Pokemon Go? All these YouTubers that are tweeting about Pokemon Go are not sponsored by Pokemon Go, but they're also not providing you with a code or some kind of link to go sign up using their little page. There's no link in their video description. There's no fucking game logo in their Twitter header. They're just simply saying they like the product. Now, this can also apply to a sponsor person talking about their sponsor's products. Like if I tweet out about GFUEL or tweet out about Audio Technica, tweet out about a SCUF controller, and I forget to put my link in there and don't put my code in there, that's just because I thought of a funny tweet that had to do with their product. They didn't pay for that tweet. When we made the video mixing all the GFUEL flavors together to make our special flavor, we weren't paid to make that video. We were bored, didn't have anything to do for that vlog, and thought it would be funny. Now, they do provide us with our team house, so in general, we would like to be like nice to them and promote them and stuff like that, but it's not like it's built into our contract where we have to make a certain amount of videos each month, that we had to make a video doing exactly that. They didn't hit us up and say, yo, make a video and mix all the flavors together. No, that was Chaos's idea because we didn't have anything else to do. And the only reason why I'm telling you guys that is so you can tell the difference between a paid for post and just someone just having some fun with a company. A lot of these companies, especially the gaming companies, have pretty funny Twitters, and it's fun to mess with them, and good banter on Twitter is just priceless. Now, some YouTubers are so large and have a fan base that encompasses so many people that their sales force, their ability to convert views into code usages or views into sales, is so massive that they eventually get the bright idea of saying, hey, why don't we just own one of these companies or buy a piece of one of these companies so that I can not only get the commission sales and the monthly payment that they give me, I can actually get some of the profits that the company makes, because, well, I might be providing like 50% of their sales. And that's where you get into the whole CSGO Lotto thing. Now, I haven't checked the dates. I haven't done any research on this whole subject. I've just simply watched the videos like everybody else. Kinda know T-Mart, and I don't really know Pro Syndicate at all, but I'm guessing they're not website coders. I'm pretty sure neither one of them would know how to do that. So I'm guessing they were approached by some people that own this website and said, hey, you know, would you want to work with us, blah, 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 blah. And they hit them back with a, you know, there's no way we're going to provide you with all that money and let you make all the money. Let's just buy it from them. And they probably paid them off for the site, probably paid them a salary or gave them a piece of the company to stay on to maintain it and continually develop it. But I guarantee you they own most of that site simply because they provided its entire revenue base. They'd be stupid not to. But they'd also be stupid to make videos not disclosing the fact that they fucking own it. And that's the only opinion I have on the matter. This is the only thing you will ever hear me say about that entire controversy, because I do actually like to stay away from all this drama. I like to just keep it positive vibes. So the only comment or point of view I will put forward is that they should have disclosed that they owned it, and that's the whole reason why they're in this trouble. Now, obviously, I'm completely ignoring the whole controversy about the under 18 betting thing and, you know, them only having to be 13 to sign up with Steam, although you had to say that you were 18 to use their site. I'm just not going to talk about all that shit. I don't know enough about the subject to give you guys an informed opinion about it. I didn't study gaming law school. If I had, I'd be talking about it nonstop, I'm sure. And just in general, I don't like to go put out opinions or say things publicly on my YouTube channel that I'm just not like 100% sure of. I don't fuck around and just say whatever comes to mind. But I do believe there's a massive difference between being sponsored by a site and not disclosing that you're obviously being sponsored and paid to make the video, and actually owning the fucking site and failing to disclose that. Now, that's not even really the situation here, because I do believe in their videos they say they just stumbled across the site, which is highly illegal. That is deceptive advertising, and if it comes out that they own the site when they actually said that, that would violate so many laws because it's on the damn internet and automatically gets put in federal jurisdiction. And if you don't know what that means, that's big boy trouble. That's huge trouble. That's United States commercial code trouble. Racketeering, antitrust, a million things can apply. It could get ugly. Now, what did I mean by if they were just sponsored and failed to disclose it, they wouldn't be in as much trouble? Of course they're sponsored by them. They're sitting there providing a link to it. They're saying the name on it. They made videos of them playing on it. Everyone should have known that they were sponsored by these people at least from the very beginning. And that's the other reason why I'm making this video, as obvious as I think that is. I honestly honestly think there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't have got that would have honestly at their core believed them, and when they said they just stumbled upon a site and look, you can make all this money and you can play on it. If there's actually people out there that were dumb enough to believe that and actually didn't think they were being sponsored by this company at bare minimum, I would have said they wouldn't have been in any trouble if they were just sponsored, because you're an idiot. No shit, they're sponsored by them. But now that doesn't actually absolve them of any legal trouble. Like I said before, with all the deceptive advertising techniques and things like that. There's also the question of, you know, the underage gambling. Again, I don't know enough to talk about it. It's a massive gray area right now. Who knows what's going to happen there? The only precedence is the Poker Stars and online poker sites, and you guys all know what happened there. They were an online business and therefore fell under federal jurisdiction, and they got the fucking dick. Again, that does kind of ignore the underage gambling thing, but honestly, Poker Stars kind of applies because, like, anybody could have signed up for that site. All you have to do is say, yes, I'm over 18, or yes, I'm over 21. I'm pretty sure 13-year-olds can lie on a website. But had it not come out that he owned the site, I don't think anyone would have fucking cared, because we all just assumed he was sponsored and is making a dumbass YouTube video. And the only evidence I have for that is, well, none of us made a hoop holler about it until H3 made a video about it. I knew it the whole fucking time. I knew he was sponsored at least by that company the whole time. I mean, no shit. Who would promote another person's website just out of the goodness of their hearts? Now, I already said more about that subject than I wanted to. That's a massive controversy right now, and it's an extremely serious situation that I hope everybody involved in it is giving it the utmost attention, because that could have some massive ramifications. Now, a lot of the reason why I'm not commenting on this is because, one, I like to stay out of drama. I don't like making drama videos. Even the main point of this video is really just to inform you guys about sponsorships. And two, is because I know T. Martin's a good dude. He just did something extremely fucking stupid. As a US citizen, you are charged with knowing and obeying all laws, whether you went to law school or not. You have to know all of them, just like me. To be honest, that's the only reason why lawyers even exist. You guys are all charged with knowing all the laws, but lawyers are the only ones that do. Ignorance of the law is no defense, and I would bet everything that they wish it was. Had they known this would happen, there's no fucking way they would have done it. They have successful lives already. They don't need all this stuff. So conclusion, they must have been completely ignorant about these things entirely, which we can all agree is kind of retarded. Now, the whole YouTube disclosure rules are a little foggy for absolutely everyone, because I think a lot of people, even myself, assume that if we were pushing a code in a video, or put their intro on a part of our video, or put them in our video descriptions and stuff like that, or just generally promoted them all the time, that we were a sponsored person and there was some kind of commission or benefit or monetary compensation being offered to us to promote that company. And the whole reason I mentioned all the stuff I did in the beginning of this video is just to show you that there are some people that are not receiving that compensation. However, you guys should know that if I come out with a video tomorrow promoting M&Ms and to go sign up and get 5% off M&Ms at mms.com/KOSDFF, that I'm being sponsored and paid to do that. This is my living. This is how I provide for myself and, you know, my friends and family and stuff like that. And again, I want to kind of end with the point that a lot of this video was said somewhat in jest while trying to inform you guys of real stuff at the same time. It might have seemed like I made light on certain topics, although they are extremely serious and have massive ramifications and involve more than just legal stuff. There's some moral questions there. And that's the real reason I'm making this video. I'm not afraid I'm gonna get in any legal trouble and things like that. I just want to know me and you guys are cool, that you guys aren't being misled, that your boy isn't trying to pull the wool over your guys' eyes or anything like that. I just really like Audio-Technica mics and drink G-Fuel and use a SCUF controller with a little sniper control freak on it and wear all opponent wear gear because I wear mainly my own stuff, and that I was fortunate enough, with you guys' help of course, to grow a brand so big that they'd eventually work with me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you tomorrow.